while Refuse Fascism is denying paying any protesters in our nation's capital, our commander-in-chief continues to say he doubts all demonstrators are legitimate. President Trump posting this on Truth Social on Friday, quote, "It's just been found that the Democrats are buying protesters in order to fight my attack on crime." This claim not yet proven by the president. We're still waiting on evidence that the crowds of protesters we've seen in D.C. are receiving money to be there. But the business of protest organizing does exist. One company, Crowds on Demand, markets itself as providing services, quote, for impactful advocacy campaigns, demonstrations, PR stunts, crowds for hire, and corporate events, receiving requests for both conservative and liberal causes. And the CEO of Crowds on Demand, Adam Swart, is joining us now. Adam, appreciate you making the time. I want to jump right in here. Your company has your company at all been approached to provide protesters for these latest demonstrations in D.C., or are you aware of any paid protesters there?
Well, Natasha, pleasure to be with you. Well, let me just say this. Crowds on Demand is the largest protest company in the country and potentially the world. So we get approached by all kinds of social movements all the time, probably every possible social movement. That doesn't mean every group within each social movement has approached us at a given time about one area of concern or another.
Have you been approached at all for protests that happened this past weekend?
Yes, we have. We're studying it judiciously, though, because one of the things is, Natasha, we've been in the news so much for what we've declined to take on because the politics in this country are just so tense that, number one, as a business owner, we have to, number one, protect our people, right? We have to protect the protesters and make sure, obviously, Crowds on Demand only engages in lawful, peaceful forms of protest, but we also don't even want them near sort of very raucous confrontations. So I'm very judicious about what we accept, even when there's a big paycheck on the line.
Did you end up providing any protesters to this last weekend's protests?
Well, Natasha, we don't comment specifics on what we do or don't do. And the reason is because if I started denying what we did or didn't do, then we would be called a non-denial would be considered an acceptance. So I think one thing I think is that this whole issue of paid protest versus not, and the for example, your last guest who adamantly denied compensating demonstrators, I think people, it's kind of like the scene from Casablanca where the gentleman says, "I'm shocked to find there's gambling going on in this establishment." To me, I think paying protesters is just reasonable part of the discourse, just like you'd pay attorneys, just like you pay talk show hosts, anyone else. Crowds on Demand, the people that we compensate are people who are passionate about the cause, enthusiastic about the subject matter. So we're just compensating them for their time.
How would you respond to people who say if you have to be paid to show up, that you're basically a plant, you're not a legitimate protester?
Well, I think that's a very tired argument. And my question is, you're very passionate about your job, Natasha, but I presume you're paid to be there. And that's a good thing because people, here's the thing, Natasha, back in before the American Revolution, the British Parliament did not pay its members. So who do you think became a member of the British Parliament? Only the landed gentry, only the wealthy.
Okay, well, we don't have much time, but I want to make sure to ask, Mills Hayes was just reporting that the Refuse Fascism group has ties to the Revolutionary Communist Party, for example. It is being investigated by the House Ways and Means Committee for ties to terrorism. How worried should Americans be that bad actors could be trying to influence the agenda at home?
Very worried about that. I think that I don't know specifically about the issue that you mentioned, but I know that hostile regimes, all of the ones that you'd suspect are involved. They have dummy corps in the United States. They have shady affiliates, right, by which that they can fund. And what you most need to worry about is the violent protests. They have a system, what I call of Russian dolls, where they can hide their involvement and create plausible deniability and then engage in illegal activity. And what they want is scenes of chaos and rioting on the streets of America to distract from their own domestic political problems. They want to tear America down to make themselves, their own regimes look better in comparison, and we condemn that, and we have no part in that. Crowds on Demand has no desire to be part of any foreign regime. We're patriotic Americans.
This is such a big topic, and I wish we had more time. I'm being told we have to wrap for time, but Adam Swart, appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you.
Pleasure, Natasha.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.